Bem-vindo à Escola da Vitória. Esta é a aula número 12 e começa agora. Na aula de hoje, a nossa convidada é Maria Kruczek. A Maria é coach e oradora motivacional. Para conhecer melhor a Maria e o seu trabalho, ouça até ao fim. Não saia daí que a aula vai começar. Hi Maria.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to Escola da Vitória. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you.
Thank you. Maria, tell me a bit about you, what you do. I know you're a coach, right? And I know you have another works in projects. Can you tell me what you're doing now, for example? What's your main occupation as a coach?
I do many things, just as you said.
Yeah.
But what I do for a living is, yes, it's coaching, but in terms of business. So it's a kind of quite narrow specialization. That in this area, I focus especially on sales and business development. So it is motivating people, about motivation, but also about how to put it all together in the world of business to make it work, to make people earn money, but in the way that it's safe for the business, that is nice for other people, like fair, ethical. This part is really important for me. However, that's not the only thing that I do for living, and I have quite many projects going on.
Yeah. But that's very important. What you are saying, being ethic and help people making money, but being also ethic and maybe happy.
Sure. I would say, it was developing as well in me, because the whole idea of growing business, it's not sometimes or not always based on ethical things. It would what I mean. Some coaches would recommend to push and grow, no matter if people in the company are suffering, no matter if the marketing is clear. Let's cheat a bit only to earn more money. That's not the way I like it. I don't believe it can work for long term.
Yeah, the way can be short, but in the long term can be hard. Can you tell us how do you decided to be a coach?
Yeah, that's an interesting story, I would say. I always wanted to be a doctor. My father is a doctor, and I was so unhappy that he convinced me not to be a doctor, because he was saying, studies are so difficult. You need to cut 10 years of your life and commit it to education. That is really hard, intense, and then it doesn't really pay off at the end. So he was able to convince me. And, when I realized I was so unhappy about this, because it's probably, even now, if I could turn back time, that would be my dream, to become a doctor. But anyway, I started to do something absolutely different. My whole life, I am connected to business, so I had my other different businesses, from gastronomy, like cooking healthy food for people, a bit of real estate and events organization. So I did many things in my life.
A big entrepreneur.
Yes, a kind of. Yes, I think I was having a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah.
But I ended up in the company with my husband, and we were helping in the area of health. But my role was actually a bit different, because I was a CFO. I was responsible for finances. So absolutely different field that I was wishing to go. But I was needed, and that's the way it was. And I thought, hey, something is not good in here. I don't feel right in what I do. And how could actually I still become a doctor, but in a different way? And I started going to a coach. And it took us quite a long time to figure out that actually I can be a doctor. I can help people, but in a different way.
Exactly.
And actually
and without losing the 10 years focus on education, no?
Exactly. I didn't have to study this way, but I would say yes, becoming a coach in the field that I am still interested in is actually healing people, healing their businesses, sometimes helping them to get the right mindset.
Yeah.
And when I'm calling myself, I would still say, hey, I'm a doctor, but my field is slightly different.
And you teach also to your customers mindfulness, or what? How is your coaching to them?
Sometimes we do something like mindfulness. However, it depends because, everyone is different. And what I would say maybe in general, people usually lack consequence. So it's not that they need to, how to say it, that they are multitasking and we need to do mindfulness. I would say in most of cases that people that I'm meeting, it's rather about consequence, not giving up. So we usually work on this field.
Yeah, not giving up.
Exactly.
And focusing on the important tasks.
Exactly.
How does finding balance in our lives can impact our overall well-being and on mental health? Because I know you're very connected on mental health, correct? And I think one of your companies is directed to those data, right?
Yeah.
How do you say that finding the right balance can impact our overall wealth?
I think it's really important, but it's really hard to feel it and understand it till the point something bad is going on. I can tell you on my case, especially because I was going through depression for 2 years. And probably before I wouldn't pay so much attention to this. And it's not really, I don't know, untypical story about me. I just started to feel bad one day. I couldn't stand up from the bed. And then I decided to check it, what's going on in here. Then it came out that I have depression. I started to take pills, going to psychotherapy, and so on. It took me 2 years to get better. But I think before this, I wouldn't even realize how this, balance would be important for me and possibly can be, crucial for every person in the world. Now I am absolute, believer that with no balance on a daily basis, you cannot go on. What do I mean on a daily basis? I don't believe in this ideas of, let's push ourselves crazy for 5 or 6 days a week, and then let's rest, lay in bed
One full day.
Exactly, on Sunday, or watch TV or get drunk at the party, and then let's reset. I don't believe in this because it's just not working. You need to search for balance and do something for yourself every single day, which means you work, of course, we all need to work, but then you need to cut this piece of time for yourself every day. Even if it's 15-30 minutes, I would say that's your duty. Otherwise, it may go wrong direction, like in my case.
And go straight to depression.
Or any other problems, right?
What are the common challenges that you see on people and on your customers facing that wrong way? What's the challenges?
I think the biggest challenge is that people get into this trap of earning money. Not really thinking about, sense. Why do I do this? If I like it, or I hate it? No. If the money is right, then we need to push it, keep it going. Doesn't matter if I love it or not. I think this is the factor that is a trap for people, because then when they have a status going a little lower with this, let's say one day you need to stop with this intensity of your work. Imagine that your status has to go a little down because you just cannot afford some things. Yes,
during age you're aging, and your energy will not be the same when you get older. So you get to calm down and find the right balance, I think.
Yes, but I think it's super hard for people who actually are not yet old, that can earn. And you tell me, why would they stop? They are in this vicious circle. They are pushing themselves. They are earning good money. What's the motivation for them to stop? No motivation. They want a new car. They want to go for holidays. Zero motivation, right?
Yeah.
This is this tricky part, I would say. And when I speak to people, that's it.
That's one of the things of our society, of afford and get things we don't need, or we want just to impress the others instead of our own well-being, and that's a problem. So, but you support the happiness to people being happy on what they do, right? Or you help them if they don't like you. If, for example, if you have a customer, not with a company, but like an employee that doesn't like what he's doing, but he's making some money, what are your advices to them? To follow the happiness or keeping the income?
Absolutely, to follow the happiness, even when it means saying goodbye to good money, for example.
Yeah.
Just even yesterday I had this conversation with the girl that possibly is going to be my client. If you don't mind, I'll tell you what she said. She said something like this. Hi Maria, I woke up this morning and I realized that I don't have my company yet. We need to do something about it. She was like this. And then she said, because my idea on this is that I keep my job that is really well paid. It takes me 10 hours a day, but then I can still, think of these 2 extra hours. So then we are, in this time, in these 2 hours, we are going to take care of my project, personal project, like little business. Yeah. And I said, no. No way. We're not going this.
Or all in or nothing. Go for your happiness all in.
Exactly. It's not easy, and it's so many times the same way. People
Really?
don't want to resign, from this.
Yeah, because I think it's the thing. Money, in the end, it's almost everything for people for have some stability. And I see people on the streets just going from house to work, house, work. And like robots or zombies, they don't like what they do, but they have to. What's your advice to the people to be happy or try to find what they love?
My first and very simple advice would be stop. First of all, you stop, you sit down, you start to think. And what I mean exactly is that when you stop at work, when you have a time to reflect, then this is the starting point to change your life. Without this, you are not able to do anything else, because we need space to think, we need space to reflect.
Yeah.
And without this, we don't give us a chance for any change. It doesn't mean if we are talking about, serious stuff like changing your occupation. No matter if it's about quitting smoking, losing weight, it doesn't matter. It's all the same rule. First, you stop and you reflect on yourself.
Take a time for yourself and think.
Exactly.
How can people identify the areas of their lives that are out of balance, and what are the signs that someone may be struggling to find balance?
Actually, probably a piece of the answer is already in the question before, because when you stop, you can think, hey, I don't like what I do, let's say, or I don't really feel fine physically in my body, I don't feel fine. So these are the first and simplest signs that something is not right. It can also be something like, let's say, getting sick quite often. It's also a sign that something is wrong with me. Or having pains, let's say like back pain or neck pain, it's usually a sign of stress. It doesn't matter that my spine is like damaged or something. It means, hey, I have a tension somewhere. This tension comes from something, and why don't we have a closer look at this? So I would say a lot of things can be just seen in our bodies. However, we need to have time to notice, and it's not very easy because, we would rather take a painkiller when we have a pain, right?
Yeah, then go to our subconscious and because sometimes it's our subconscious mind speaking to us is the back pain, for example.
Exactly.
And that's a factor that people don't maybe they don't believe or they don't understand, but it's a very important part of our mind, the subconscious mind. And sometimes what you're saying, the back pains can be a symptom.
Exactly. However, you need to have time to first of all to know this, then to feel it, stop and feel it. And as you can see, this whole path is not super simple. It's not like with the toothache that, okay, it's a sign that I need to visit a dentist, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like this. So I would say, first of all, give yourself some time, then try to read your body and then ask yourself questions. Is this the life that I was dreaming of? If not, and it's okay when it's not, because this is what we call life, but still we can slightly work on it to make it better for you. And I don't mean, for example, not to work 10 hours a day. If you love to work 10 hours a day, it gives you peace of mind and that's the way you love it. That's fine. It's not about making it 50-50. It's about making it the way it gives you comfort.
But if you work 10 hours a day and you are always complaining with something, that's not healthy.
Exactly.
That's the way, that's the part, I'm complaining, so that's a bad sign. Mm-hmm. And it's time to take the time to think and maybe doing a reset.
Exactly.
Okay, Maria, this is my second year on the podcast, okay? And the theme of this, I consider it a second season. The main theme is fresh starts. Can you talk a bit about it? I know you're from Poland, right? Mm-hmm. And moving to Madeira, I think you have the company in Poland, right?
In the UK.
Even
more complicated.
Okay, and you're coming back to here?
Straight from Poland.
Straight from Poland.
Yes,
okay, it was a fresh new start, right?
Yes.
And why Madeira?
Why Madeira? It's a funny story because that was just going to be a pit stop before going to Canada. And I was collecting all the papers for a visa. It took me quite a long time. And me and my family, we decided that waiting for this last step to get visa to Canada, let's make it nice. Why not Madeira? That's why we came here. And the plan was just to stay here for 1 year. But after 1 year, on this very last step with paperwork for Canada, we sat down with my husband and we had this conversation. Hey, let's do, like SWOT analyze or pros and cons, something like this. And the answer to stay here was so clear. There were just no
Easy.
Doubts. Exactly.
More cons, no pros. Almost no pros.
Yeah, like why we were even thinking of this Canada? Oh my goodness, we stay here. And we made up our minds in 5 minutes. And here we are.
Yeah, with a fresh start, right?
Yes.
What was your bigger fresh start? Was this one?
In my life?
Yes.
That's a good question.
Well, life is made of fresh starts, but which was yours, your biggest one?
I think I'm going to surprise you. Probably, I think my biggest fresh start was when our baby was born, because many things had to change in my life. So that was the freshest and the biggest start.
Being a mother.
Yes, totally different role, something super new for me.
And you're enjoying, I suppose.
Oh, a lot.
Yeah, that's good. Speaking on fresh starts, that's a big part of your job, right? Can you share an example of a time that you have helped someone making a fresh start with a big move in their lives?
Sure. I think it's most of my clients, to be honest, it's like this, that they feel it as a fresh start, even if they do, the same thing. But I am showing them that, hey, it can be done differently, either if it's more safe way or a better, healthier or more balanced way. I'm wondering about this like super interesting story. I would say I don't really have any one history in my mind, but I can tell you something else. When I am working with people, there is usually this one meeting, sometimes it's even one sentence or even one word that can change people's perspective totally. And it's like
when it rings the bell
exactly,
of the change.
Exactly. Sometimes it's like they open their eyes or like they wake up and they say, hey, I didn't know that it can be like this, but yes, it can. And it's usually, I think I'm kind of waiting for this moment. Yeah. It always comes, of course, for some, it comes faster. For some, they need to wait a bit longer, but it's still okay. It's not a problem, yes? But it's almost always like this, that this wake up is coming.
Yeah. And what about the some steps that you recommend people to put them on the working and having their momentum? What's the steps that you advise them?
I think I wouldn't rather recommend steps, but mindset, the right mindset. What I mean exactly. You need to be very open when you come to work with the coach, because usually what you are going to hear is something either new or something that you already heard so many times, but you were not open to it. You know what I mean? So firstly, just open your head, listen, then trust, and let's just wait for magic to happen. That
happened.
Yeah.
On most of your clients or all of your clients?
I would like to be super optimistic. Of course, it's not with everyone because it's a journey, and not everyone is ready for this. Sometimes it's not for every person as well. Let's say we decide together that it's better for us to stop because there is some kind of different work that has to be done before. Let's say psychotherapy, and then I say, hey, it's not good to, make a huge transformation in your work life. First, you should focus on yourself. You should take care more of yourself or clean up your past a bit. Let's not go here now because it makes no sense. You take care of yourself first. And, however, I would say that these are still success stories, but in a different way.
Yeah. And you find clients on that after you speak with them with a prospect when they are speaking for you the first time, do you refuse the client because you advise them another path before or no?
Yes. It happens probably in 40% of cases that people have some idea how it is going to be, or they think they know what they need, And it's a kind of diagnosis, like in a doctor again.
Yeah.
And then you figure out, we both figure out, hey, this is not the way for you. I can recommend you some other solutions. However, it will not be with me. And it's okay.
Yeah. Okay, so, and you love what you're doing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes.
To being a different doctor.
Yes.
Okay. Maria, speaking a bit about your reading habits, do you read a lot? You don't?
Yes, I do.
You do. Do you have any book that you recommend? That's the book that impact you most, make you more impact?
Let me think. For sure, the books of Robert Cialdini, and they are multilingual. You can find them in absolutely, probably every language in the world because they are so popular. I would say they helped me a lot to understand other people and my behaviors as well. So I would recommend any book of this guy for sure. Very nice, very easy to read, very interesting. And they can really give you...
about what the books?
They are about psychology and understanding the behaviors, mechanisms of how the brain is working. Very interesting, but some books can be just too complex. And these are really good, nice and easy books to read, and they can really impact your point of view on life and on yourself as well, which is, I think, very important.
Yeah, that's good. Daily habits to keep the life balance. What do you recommend?
I am doing this with my clients, and it's a great thing. Usually people that I work with need to use their calendar because they are planning their meetings, daily life. But usually people forget to put in these calendars things for themselves. So, okay, we will plan meetings from 9 to 5, but then what is happening after 5 is unplanned, and it's like a big question mark. So what I would recommend, start planning that time for yourself, not in your head, but physically, either if it's a calendar in your phone or just a paper one, doesn't matter. Plan things for yourself, and then, of course, try to execute it. Be flexible for yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Sometimes it just may not happen because that's what we call life. But usually, when it's in the calendar, it is going to happen sooner or later. And of course, do it on a daily basis.
Okay. And another one?
And another one, very important. And let me give you the example, if I may, because I think it's really... probably all of us can find a bit of themselves in this example. Imagine that you are at work and you are planning to go to the gym after work. But then your friend comes, your colleague from work, and she's saying, "Hey, I'm so sorry, I need to go home a bit earlier today. Why don't you please do this little job, this little work for me? This is serious and, I just need to go." And what usually you would do, you would take this little thing to do, you would skip your gym or whatever else, you would do this because you want to be nice, friendly, and the most important, you don't put yourself in the first place. This is what we unfortunately do sometimes. And of course, you will have this feeling of being helpful for someone, but you are resigning from yourself. You don't do this. When you are in similar situations, and I am sure every one of us has been in this, don't skip your dreams. Don't forget about things that are important to you. Treat yourself as you are the most important. You are this VIP, not anyone else. Otherwise, many things are going wrong way. And we can even relate it to our children. If you don't treat yourself as a VIP, you will have problems with your kids. Because when you are tired, you are getting frustrated, you wouldn't be the best version of a parent that you could possibly be. So you first.
Okay, that's a big piece of advice. Maria, where people can find you if they can be interested in your work, or is it, I don't know if you have a page for where people can find you and be in contact with you or contact you to speak with you or to know about coaching?
Sure, I do have it. You can find me on Facebook as Maria Kruczek with CZ.
Yes.
It's this Polish trick. That's my name is quite tricky. You can find me also in 6years.consulting. That's my official website, and
yes.
There is a contact for me there as well, and on Instagram as Life Balance Coach. You're more than welcome.
Yeah, I will put the links, and I'll recommend people to follow and to check out Maria's work. Maria, thank you for this time. It was good, and I think we will talk more. Maybe a second episode. Who knows? Okay.
That was a pleasure for me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.